Welcome back, everyone. And this is part 2, where I absolutely want to talk about navigating change and unpredictability. So if you have not listened to last week's episode, I strongly encourage you to go back and do that, because I talk about navigating or managing yourself in times that are very unpredictable. Today, I want to talk about you as a leader, as a manager, how you lead your teams and how you manage during times of change. So this is part 2. So please, if you haven't listened, go back to part 1 last week. Leadership, it's not just about how you handle change. It's also about how your team experiences it, and how they are going to experience it is through you. And so when I talk about change and unpredictability, it is situations like the company being sold or a major reorganization, or it could be something as simple as you want somebody to change jobs or take on new responsibilities or simply change teams. Change can be small or big. And what is important is that your team or that person, they will experience it depending on how you show up. So it's definitely a challenge, and nobody prepares you for it. You're expected to lead while you're often still processing that change for yourself. Okay. So you don't get a grace period. But that is also, and I would love to say it again, see it as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to show up even when you don't have all the answers. So how do you lead or manage when you are also living the change? That's what we're going to talk about. And I would say it boils down to, if you are steady and calm, then those around you will also mirror that. If they see you acting like that, they believe that they can also be calm and they will feel reassured. So I'm going to walk through 5 points to think about. The first one is that during a crazy time, and let's just take the sale of a company, because I'm working with somebody right now and her company is being sold. So she does not know if she's going to have a job. She doesn't know what's going to happen to her team. She doesn't have any answers for her team. So my first suggestion is that it's the small choices that you make every day that will have a very big ripple effect. So you don't need to make a bold statement or have a major plan to steady the team. Often, what I see is people will trust those who stay consistent in small ways. How you speak, how you listen, how you show up. And when uncertainty is high, people it's like they've got these antennas and they're constantly scanning for information. And if you are calm, if you are reframing things objectively and simply showing that you are present, that is what counts for the team. Those actions are going to create a sense of safety. And so safety will help your team to continue doing the work during times of change. It's the opportunity for you, and this is my second point, to control or lead the narrative. Because in times when things are uncertain, there's a vacuum. And when you don't speak into it, people are going to fill the silence with their own fears, their own doubts, their assumptions. And that is when the rumor mill takes off. So if there is nothing being said, people are going to fill that void. And so your job isn't to have all the answers, because you will not have all the answers. And if we take the situation where a company is being sold, things change. that is not a smooth process. And we're talking about human emotions. And so you will never have all the answers, and that is okay. But offer what you do know. Transparency creates trust and clarity. And what I mean by clarity, it's the data or the facts. Say what you do know. Share with your team about how you're approaching and tackling the unknown. Name the emotion in the room. I know that you're feeling scared right now. A lot of you are probably feeling frustrated and angry that this is happening. Okay, we're validating also those feelings. And when you own the narrative, when you are taking the initiative to talk about what is going on, then you calm the system and you calm people's nervous system. And even if we can't control the rumor mill, a little bit, it will help. So it's absolutely not about being perfect or polished or having all the answers. It's about remaining present and real and human and consistent. Third point is leaders and managers who embrace change build trust. And so when I was the CEO of a company, we went through a lot of change because it was during COVID. There were major reorganizations. There were people leaving, people coming, cyber attack. Just so much going on. And a lot of people, they're not going to remember necessarily what you said. They will remember how you showed up. So if you are frantic, if they see you slamming your door, coming in and out, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, sending email or text messages at all hours of the day, if they're seeing you in that frantic energy, that is not reassuring, ladies. The team depends on you. They're going to be going through this moment and this period in your energy. It's like, think of it as a boat. You are the boat, you are leading the way, and it's in the wake that the team is going to be going through their daily motions and doing their jobs. So if you are the boat and you are going left and right, and you're trying to stop the boat and speed up the boat and turn it left and turn it right, the wake, so those waves behind you, are going to be crazy, and the team is it's just going to add to the stress. So being calm, leading with honesty, and a willingness to say also, I don't know yet, then your team is going to feel much safer. But if you retreat or panic or start a rumor mill, they will too. Okay, so trust, it's built by not having all the answers, but by showing up with integrity and being honest and not running from the fear of you not knowing. Number 4. So I think one of the biggest traps is when there's something going on, like the sale of a company or a reorganization, is moving too quickly and just doing for the sake of doing. Okay, but reaction isn't a strategy. And I just want to tell a story. In my one of my last jobs, I decided to do a major reorganization. And I was managing that with somebody on my team who was responsible for helping me execute and implement. And she was pushing for us to move really quickly. And this was a major change. And so she wanted to push also for me. It wasn't for the right reasons. And I pushed back because sometimes when we are going through major uncertainty, people also need a little bit of time to just digest a little bit. So sometimes not rushing into taking action, but just taking a moment for you to pause and asking yourself, okay, what's happening right now? What does this moment really require of me? Is it me being calm? Is it me giving in information? Is it just holding space for people? But take time to really think about what is needed for the team in that moment. Okay, that discernment will set you apart. And my last point also is, and I've said this before, is that I think the best leaders don't wait for change, they initiate it. If you are only reacting, you're always behind. And because change is going to come from somewhere at some point in time, which is why I think constantly changing and shaking things up is good, because people get used to things not being like the status quo. I mean, if you just, I'm recording this now, it's mid-May. Think about less than 2 years ago, AI wasn't even available. Okay, AI has only been around, and I'm talking about mainstream, okay, so ChatGPT, it's really only been around for 18 months. And it is revolutionizing what is going on in companies and people's jobs. And so if you are showing and explaining why change is good and constantly encouraging change within your team or your department, they're going to be so much more resilient when major things happen. So, what I almost want to encourage you, what needs to evolve, whether it be systems or behaviors or an organization or structures or the way you do something before it becomes a crisis or a problem. Having that mindset of change is good, we can always do better. Just leaders, they don't wait to be faced with change. They make change. So if you don't have a habit of changing things up within your team, I also suggest it's something that you do regularly. Because if you are leading change before you're forced to, you're going to create a culture that sees evolution as an opportunity and not a threat. So, in conclusion here, leading others through change, it doesn't require perfection. We are all human. We are not perfect. But it does require some emotional clarity, some intentional language, and the courage to speak out and go first. Okay, your team doesn't expect for you to have every answer, but please tell them something, because what they are going to do is follow your energy, your presence, and your tone. That is where your power lies in moments of change. So I hope that this episode gave you a new lens on how to think about change and uncertainty and unpredictability. I would love for you to send me a note, tell me what you thought. And if you are struggling, if it is something that is very difficult for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's an offer that I have. It is a 6-week coaching sprint called Catalyst, and we address one challenge in 6 weeks. And I guarantee you, if change and managing something like this is really difficult for you, and if you are struggling with your teams, please reach out. Or if you just want to anticipate it, it is also something that we can anticipate, because you know that change is coming, and I would love to see if working together would be a good fit. I hope that this has been useful. Please drop me a note, drop me a question, and we'll speak soon. Take care, everyone.